What's up, guys? It is Jonathan with One Big Impact. So today I actually want to do kind of like a freelance type video, just talking about different things, including kind of, I guess, where I'm at in life and, where I was a few years ago. And just to talk about stuff. And I think the biggest reason I want to talk about things is because life is forever changing really fast each day for me. I'm grabbing some water, by the way. So it kind of depends on how long you guys have been around. You guys know I started my channel, I think it was like 8 years ago or something like that. And it's gone a lot of different ways, okay? Now, what I've noticed is I'm obviously in a different place. Whether it's like financially or but I think more importantly, it's not even like a financial change. I think obviously it is. I've noticed that, and I hate this term, but I'm going to use it for lack of better terms right now. The more money you make, the more money you spend. So I'm not necessarily making a lot more than what I made before. I'm kind of just breaking even, but I do have a small gym. I do have lots of clients that I love to death. I talk a lot of crap, okay? I'm wearing the no judgment shirt, but I judge everybody. We joke about that. This is the judgment zone. That's kind of my job, kind of what I fell into. If you guys were around, back in the day and stuff like that, I really fought, the whole personal training idea and wasn't really up for the measure of it. Which is kind of funny because I guess I've kind of always, maybe for like the last 10 years or so, I found myself kind of falling into the idea of being like, whether it was motivational or whatever it was, I guess it was just kind of sharing, my own personal experience, my struggle, and, the difficulties that I was going through and stuff like that. There's been a lot of stuff that's happened, in the years. When I started my healthy journey, I was getting a divorce and I had gone through a divorce and some difficult things were going on in my life, and drinking and doing drugs and different things. I don't want to say I was necessarily like a drug addict. I don't want anybody to think that, but I definitely was a pretty recreational user of a lot of different things, whether it was alcohol, smoking 4 packs of cigarettes a day. One of the biggest reasons I'm kind of documenting this is because I like to remember where I came from compared to where I'm at today. I lived with my mom after my divorce for quite a few years, and I think as an adult male, not that it really bothered me, but I do feel like it really kind of didn't help me move to the next level. There was a point a few years back where I was like posting on Craigslist because I couldn't afford food and trying to get food for the kids, and then people helped me out with like Christmas gifts for the boys and stuff like that. And fast forward, I started doing a little bit better. My YouTube channel started doing a little bit better, started dropping some weight, got into like fitness pretty good, stopped smoking cigarettes. I don't know how long it's been. I guess it's probably been about 5 or 6 years or something like that. Just quit cold turkey, pretty much quit doing all drugs. I do drink, but I really don't know the last time I drank. I really don't know. I would say probably, I don't know. If I had to guess, maybe a few months. Like, I actually don't know. I want to say 6 months, but maybe it's not that long. I don't really know. But I might have had 2 beers. I used to party a lot. I used to submerge myself with just bad energy all the time. Kind of going in a negative place with my life. And And I don't want to say I'm perfect. I'm ridiculously imperfect. I'm probably the most imperfect person you'll ever see. I say this all the time, and I say I'm a bipolar Aries, so good luck. I wish you the best. But in reality, I don't say that like in a bad way. I don't make that as an excuse. I am that, and I like to focus on the idea of understanding that the reasons that I do things, meaning like the reasons I stay drug free and away from cigarettes and away from alcohol and stuff like that for the most part, and focus on health and fitness and trying to eat right and stuff like that. The number one reason, and when it comes all down to everything and just eliminate all the reasons, it's for mental health. There was a point in my life where, I was really trying really hard to get serious mental illness benefits, and I had just given up on life. And there was some really bad stuff going through my mind all the time, and I just wasn't happy about life, and I wasn't getting what I wanted out of life and stuff like that. And I didn't really try to get anything necessarily, but now I was talking to somebody the other day. I remember a few years back, Ellen in the group, she sent me, I was looking at steaks or something like that, and I meant to think about steaks. And it was so funny because I didn't have the money for the steak. She sent me $25 and she said, go get that steak. And it's so funny because fast forward to a point now, and at that point I said, you know what, I'm going to buy the most expensive steak because it was like 20 something bucks or something like that. And I bought it, and it was a ribeye. And I had never tasted a ribeye. I never even realized there was a difference between, I was always like, holy crap, why would they charge that much for this and this much for that? I just thought it was a freaking joke. Like, I'm not paying $20 for a steak when I can get one for $4. So the idea of not understanding that kind of sucked. And once I bought that steak, I took it home and I cooked it, and I Googled how to cook a steak because I was like, this is the most expensive steak I ever had. I don't want to screw it up. So I Googled it and I learned how this technique or whatever, and I made it. It was the best steak I ever had. And literally since that day, like, I pretty much only buy ribeye steaks. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's kind of like I've gotten to the point to where I don't go for the dollar items. I don't go to McDonald's and go to the dollar menu or whatever. I realize that I'm worth more. I realize that I'm grateful for the second chance at life that I've got. And I understand that, there is a difference between a $20 steak and a $4 steak. There is a difference between having my own apartment and living at my mom's. There is a difference between being able to get people gifts randomly or asking for gifts and not being able to get them. I do understand there's a difference between doing drugs, smoking cigarettes, and drinking alcohol all the time, rather than taking mental health pills or bipolar pills, and not being happy with myself, to say the very least. And I know that there's so many differences, and I'm so grateful for this chance that to prosper. I used to think about like traveling, and I never really pulled the trigger, and I never really did anything. It was just like blah 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 blah. Now I've been to like 30 countries, 29, whatever. And I really have a zest for achieving things, and I just am, I guess it's not even that I'm proud of myself, but it's just like that I have to look back and I have to understand that I'm nowhere near where I want to be yet. And I have become slightly obsessed with achieving things, and I'm really happy about that, because I was slightly obsessed with just giving up. So I'm going to make a part 2 to this video. If you're new here, please like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Check out our group on Facebook. It's called Healthy Living for Healthy Life. Please check out the next video.